thanks for joining us. So we're going to go through a short program which is designed to stretch and warm up some of those really key muscles we use when we're running. So really warm us up, ready for our run. Okay, so to start with, we're going to have those feet about hip width distance apart. So bring those toes apart and those heels apart. Make sure to start with that weight going evenly through your feet. So if you need to, just tilt that weight coming onto the fronts of your toes, back onto your heels. Good, just forwards and back. And just finding that midpoint between those two movements, so that weight is evenly distributed through my feet. Knees are soft, hands up onto your pelvis and very gently tilting forwards and then tilting back. So just a gentle movement forwards and back, just to find that neutral spine position and that core's gently engaged. Those shoulders relax, that neck's nice and long and lifted, so just lengthen up through the crown of that head. Lovely. So just going to warm through our ankles to start with. So we're just going to come up onto those toes and then lower back down. Good, so pushing off and then lowering. So just working those calves a little bit that we use a lot when we're running. So we're pushing up and lowering. And again, push up and lower. So really lifting up through, pushing through those calves, just warming them up as I'm lifting and lowering. Keeping that core engaged, I'm really lengthening through and lowering. So I'm lifting up my body and lowering down. Good, now this time let's lift up. Let's just go halfway down. Push up, halfway down, pushing up, halfway down again, good, push up, halfway down, and again push up, halfway down, and again push up, halfway down, and one more, push up, halfway down, and lowering. Now we're going to stick with our feet, I'm going to do some toe walking, so we're going to push off through those toes. And again, it's really good to warm up those toes before we're running, because they're important when we're pushing off and moving forwards, striving forwards when we're running. We don't want to lose any energy through any stiffness there. So we're pushing through those feet, lifting up through those toes. Lovely. Now I'm keeping my pelvis nice and steady. And again, you don't want any excess movement, especially when you're running and you're losing energy if we're not keeping that control through the pelvis. My core's still engaged. I'm just pushing through, just warming up those feet, warming up through those ankles. Well done. Good. Pushing through each side. Lovely. Okay, let's do one more each side. And then just lower those feet back down. Very good. Okay, so keeping those feet that hip width distance apart, we're going to warm up through our legs now. So sitting back and lifting up. So we're sitting that bottom back behind you, so that weight is going onto your heels. So you're sitting back and up. If you can, we can bring those arms forward and lift up. Good. Sitting back and up. And again, sit down, back up. Make sure those knees are going straight. Again, keeping that alignment is really important when we're running. Keeping that control. Good. So sitting that bottom down and lift up. Bottom back and up. So just really warming up through those legs. Good. Sitting that bottom behind you and back up. And again. Good. Now this time we're going to sit back. Let's do 5 pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push up. Very good. So let's just stretch through our legs and bring our knee up towards the chest. And just have a nice knee hug stretch here. Good. Breathe in and out. And relax. And then the opposite leg. Bring that leg up and towards your chest. Breathing in and out. Just relaxing. Just stretching through that leg from here. Well done. Okay, so we're going to warm up our legs a little bit more. Going to come onto one leg, the leg you're standing on. Just try and keep it nice and supported. Again, my pelvis is staying level. Really important. We're going to just do a few little dips, back up and down. Now again, when we're running, it's really important we can control a single leg dip. Good. Last few. Dropping down, keeping that nice and steady. And one more here. And lift back up. Good. And the opposite leg. Coming onto that side, my pelvis is level, and I'm dipping down. Good. Still keeping my body nice and long, nice and controlled. Knees going straight as I'm dipping and lifting. Good. Dropping down, lifting up. Well done. Last couple. And one more. And relax back up. Very good. Okay, so we're going to wake up our glute muscles now. So our glute muscles are really important when we're running as well. So we're going to start with a standing clam. So standing on one leg again. I'm just going to hook one leg behind my foot, and I'm just going to open out and back from here. So I'm just rotating through that hip, opening out through, just kicking my bottom muscles in as I'm working here. The leg I'm standing on is having to work quite hard to stabilise me as well. I'm still keeping my pelvis level, my body's nice and tall. Opening out and back. Good. So just waking up through those glutes that we'll be using through our run. Good. Opening out and back. Just rotating through, my hips staying relatively forward. I'm not twisting my body, I'm keeping them stacked as I lift and open out. Very good. Last few. Good. And let's do one more here. And then back, and then lower that leg down. Going to do the same on the opposite side, so hooking that foot behind. Again, the leg I'm standing on is working hard to support me. And I'm just opening out through this hip. Keeping that control, just waking these glutes up, getting them ready for our run. Good. So keeping that control, standing up nice and tall still. My pelvis is still level. Lifting out and back up. Good. Last few. Keep that control. Nice. Those hips staying forwards. So I'm opening out and back. Good. Let's do one more. And then lower the leg back down. Very good. Okay, so let's stretch out our glutes. So I'm going to put one foot onto the opposite leg from here, and I'm just going to sit down and drop down into that stretch to really feel that into my bottom muscle. So you can just sink down into that just as far as you feel you can. So just breathe in and out. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down a little bit further. Well done. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, just sinking down into that stretch. Well done. And the other leg's working hard in like a little squat as well. Good. And then sitting back up. And then we do the same on the opposite side. So opposite foot onto the other knee. Drop down. Just sink down into that stretch where you feel that stretch through into that bottom. Breathe in out here. On that out breath, just sink down a little bit further into it if you can. And then breath in. And just sinking down a little bit further if you can. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, sinking down. And again, breath in. And sinking down that little bit further. Good. And then coming back up. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to do a few roll downs. From here, I want you to cross one leg in front of the other. So we're going to stretch our hamstrings a little bit with this roll down. So we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Just feeling that stretch through the back of the leg there. Breath in. As you breathe out, drop down a little bit further. Good. Breath in. And as you breathe out, rolling, peeling back up into standing. Good. So we're going to uncross the leg, bring the opposite leg in front this time. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that chin down, rolling those hands slowly down towards the floor. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out again, just drop down a little bit further, feeling that stretch through those hamstrings. Breath in. As you breathe out, drop down a little bit further. And then slowly peeling back up from here. Bring those legs that hip width distance apart again. And we're going to roll down this way. So breath in. As you breathe out, tucking down, rolling those hands slowly down. Breath in here. As you breathe out, sink down a little bit further. Then we're going to soften the knees and walk our hands forwards. And just coming into that downward dog position. And we're going to stretch out our calf. So we're going to drop one heel down and then the opposite heel. So just really lengthening through that calf one at a time. Alternating sides as you're dropping down. Really lengthening through. Drop that heel down. Really feel it sinking into the ground. Dropping down. Sinking the heel down. Well done. Dropping that heel down. Sinking through. Good. So your last few here, sink that heel down, really stretch through those calves. Good. Let's do one last one each side. And then from here, we're going to lower those knees down and drop down just a stretch into a child pose stretch. Sinking down, really stretch out that back, dropping through those arms as well, sinking through. Now, if you can, we're going to tuck those toes under and just stretch through our toes, because we're really important to keep that moving. And when we're pushing off through our feet, that needs to be flexible through those big toes. So if you can, I'm just going to tuck my toes under and stretch through here. Good. Breathing in and out, stretching through those feet. Very good. One more breath in and out here. And then I'm just going to slowly bring back up and roll back up into standing. Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the class and have a great run.